Hello, hello, beautiful butterflies and perfect people. Welcome to our channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm glad to have you here. If you are returning, keep coming back. More will be revealed. I'm sending you my love. I'm wishing all of you peace, prosperity, and productivity. You're with Tanisha Ali today, and I'm here to help you to gain clarity, to uplevel your mindset, to clear and heal energetic blockages so that you can manifest the glory of God that is within you. If you have not purchased Manifesting Your Masterpiece and you're interested in upleveling your life and doing just what I said, gaining clarity, and reflecting on what it is that is blocking you and standing in the way of you manifesting your glorious goddess self, your best life, and getting the largest slice of life, make sure you get that book. You can get it on Amazon. Okay, today we are digging into video number 5 in our Manifesting Love series. Okay, now we've done 4 other videos. I'm going to do my best. I'm kind of trifling with this to link them in the description. We did a video on attracting new love into your life, or just attracting love in general. Let's say that you're already having a relationship with someone and you want to up level it. Then just extrapolate on the ideas that I'm talking about, and you can do that. We talked about using your intuition. We also had a video on the love frequency. We talked about releasing your karmic as a part of our Manifesting Love series. And today we're going to be talking about the kind of men that you need to avoid, okay, on your manifesting love journey. Now, although we had a video on questions you must ask your party of interest while you're dating, that video is not included in the Manifesting Love series. However, in that process and in your getting to know someone, these are going to be things that you want to be aware of. These are going to be things that really need to become non-negotiables for you, because these really represent the kind of men you need to avoid. Run, Forrest, run. Okay, number 1 is Kevin Samuel wannabes, or people who worship him, his worshipers, his idol worshipers. Men who low-key really despise, dislike, and hate women. Men who, for the most part, don't have healthy relationships with their mothers. They clearly cannot. I don't care what they say. You will find with a little bit of digging and excavating that these people typically blame their mothers. They resent their mothers. They have a very distorted relationship with the primary caregiver and first madrasa, first school, first teacher in their life, which is their mother. They may judge her. They may hold her responsible for their mishaps in life. They may even dislike her to the extent of blaming her for what happened between her and their father. If they don't have a father, if they have a father in their life and there's drama there, you're going to always find that these types of men who follow blindly that type of discourse really do not like women. No matter how they present themselves, they don't see value in the feminine energy. They typically result in exploiting the feminine energy, giving very little, being very emotionally unavailable, and blaming the woman for all of the problems that they have, which is why they manifest more of the same dysfunction and confusion in their lives. Sometimes this particular community is referred to as the red pill community. Those are the men that you want to run from. Okay, if you're not sure what that ideology is, check out Kevin Samuel's YouTube channel, and you will very quickly get an idea of the methodology that he puts out there, the following that he has. Take a look at the comment section. And if you are around an individual who really gains their sense of power and self-concept and self-worth by demeaning women and reducing them to sexual objects and baby carrying machines, then you're going to want to run away from this type of individual, okay? Men like this typically are not interested in you. They are interested in how you can service their needs. They lack empathy. As I mentioned, they are socially and emotionally unavailable for you, and they typically will drain you and dry you up and still not be satisfied. Okay? At the end of the day, just remember they don't like you. They like men, but they don't like women. Okay? Number 2 is a man who truly doesn't know how to love you because he doesn't know how to love a woman. All right? Oftentimes, these are men who grew up again with that distorted relationship with the primary woman figure in their life. Oftentimes, they are men who really don't know how to love you because they can't respect you, they don't honor you, they don't revere you, they have very little appreciation for the feminine energy, all right? A type of man like this is not going to come to the table with his best, or his best is not going to foot the bill. It's not going to be the level of relationship that you actually desire. This is not a man that you could legitimately build a life with, or one that would legitimately build a life with you. This is something that is really, really, really important. This person doesn't know how to love a woman, not only because they do not love themselves, and that's very cliche-ish, but most people don't really understand how a lack of self-love can play out, because it can play out with women as well. This is not just men, all right? But most people don't understand how that can play out in a relationship and how it can set up a huge blockage between two people when one person is coming to the relationship very sincerely and making an effort and in the energy of giving, in the energy of empathy, in the energy of nurturing and love, and the other person simply is not capable of that. Stay tuned until the end. It dawned on me this many hours later that I forgot number 3. The type of man you need to avoid is a man that has an abundance of narcissistic traits. Now, if you don't know what a narcissist is, you need to learn, because many more people are identifying narcissistic traits or narcissism in people that they are related to, in both women and men, and these types of qualities can dramatically affect the relationship. Now, a person that is certifiably and a bona fide narcissist is different than a person that has narcissistic traits. All of us have some degree of narcissism within us, but being certifiably narcissistic is really, really serious. You want to avoid those people like the plague, but you want to avoid people that have an abundance of narcissistic traits, people who always have to be the center of attention, people who want everything to be about them, people who have difficulty empathizing, and when they do, it seems insincere to the extent that they continue to do the same thing over and over and over again without really changing. People who are very unstable in their personality type because of these kinds of characteristics, meaning they love you one minute, the next minute they're willing to discard you. Those types of people who really, really, really have a difficult time with validating other people in any kind of sincere way. These people have very specific behaviors and actions and things that they do that characterize their interpersonal relationships. And this stems from things that they suffered from, traumas and things of that nature that were habitual in their development, okay? Sometimes they have had a narcissistic parent. Sometimes they suffered from neglect and abuse and a lot of violence in the home on a regular and occurring basis. And these people within and of themselves are very empty, and they don't really understand what love is. They don't know. They don't feel whole within themselves, and because they don't understand what love is, they are incapable of giving love unless they really true love, or love that feels good and love that feels empowering and love that allows for spiritual growth. So these are the kind of people that you definitely want to avoid. The third thing is a man who really can't demonstrate what healthy masculinity is. These are people who have a warped view of what it is to be a man. And I know we use these buzzwords a lot, and most people cannot always have an intelligent discussion about what these words mean. But essentially, we're talking about the concept of manhood and what manhood really means based upon an ideal. Everyone is not going to be perfect, clearly. However, you want more home runs than not. And when you have a situation with a person who doesn't have some basic nature some very important core aspects of manhood in place, then you're going to be dealing with someone more than likely who is going to have some very unhealthy, distorted views of what manhood is about. They're going to seek outside themselves for power and domination and control. They don't really rely on the power within themselves. They know very little about what healthy masculinity is, and it is not exerting power and force, dominance over another individual. They are not really in their healthy masculinity when they don't understand that their role is to provide safety, security, and provision for the feminine. All right. Safety, security, and provision is not dominance, it's not control. It is a presence and an energy that is willing to lay down one's life in some instances for another person. It is the presence and energy that is willing to sacrifice in order to provide not only the necessities of life, but what is needed for the full functioning of a relationship and a family. We're talking about not just the physical, but the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. And that's where a lot of masculines fall short. Their idea of manhood is going out to earn the bacon. And this is a digression for a second, but it's not. Part of that challenge is that women, first of all, many women today are not in need of that. But that doesn't take anything away from what a man can provide and what a woman should allow that man to provide, and how they can pool their resources and their energy to create beauty in this world. But many men forget that they have, whether you're looking at the scripture from the Bible, or you're looking at the Quran, or some other holy text that you hold in high esteem, in addition to the way that nature works from an organic level, men are also accountable for and responsible for emotional, spiritual, and mental provisions for the partnership. When they fail to do that, when they fail to acknowledge that, then they cannot meet the totality of the needs that a relationship has or a woman has. When a man is able to do that, then a woman is very easily able to be totally in her feminine and play the role that she is supposed to play. Remember, men and women are like, or should be like, garments to one another. It's a perfect fitting. Women are designed to be the perfect complement to man, and man is designed to be the perfect complement to women. And when both people are in their roles and in their power, in their true power, which is not referenced by dominance, which is not referenced by who can yell the loudest in a shouting match or who makes the most money, these roles and the interplay that is necessary between the masculine and feminine energies, not only within, but between the two parties, easily come together to make up a holistic relationship that is healthy and balanced, although not without challenges. This is very important to remember, okay? A man who can't support you in your passions and dreams and is so traditional that his idea of a wife is that you be pregnant, barefoot, and in the kitchen. Okay, shout out to all, or to many of the Kevin Samuels followers who are not concerned, and this is one of my other items, between what is between your ears and what is in your chest, your heart and your mind, not concerned about your spiritual health, about the fact that you are a soul and that a relationship is about privilege and not possession, and we cannot possess another soul, and we should not oppress another soul, and we can only do that in ignorance. That cannot happen in an energy of balance. You cannot disempower another person when you are balanced and you're coming to the table whole yourself. We're looking for individuals who are whole, or individuals who are striving to be whole and can quantify that and know what that is about. Next, number 6, and I said that a man who cannot appreciate what is in your chest and what is between your ears. The fact that you have a mind, that you can think, that you have aspirations, that you have passion, that your intuitive connection to your higher spiritual self and your feminine creativity is a very important part of your life and that you operate within that frequency in a very natural way when in a balanced situation. Someone who sees you more rather than a soul and a spirit, they see you more in a way that disempowers you and debases you because they're focused on the physical in terms of what you can provide for them or what you look like or everything that is a part of an earthly, very baseline, concrete understanding of the male and the female and the dynamics of relationship and the specific roles of each of those energies. That's something you definitely want to avoid. Number 7, a man who doesn't really want a partner. To me, marriage in and of itself needs to be redefined based on the evolution of mankind. And everything is always working and expanding towards our greater fulfillment and towards growth and change. We too have to change. Nothing in this universe stays the same. In fact, change is the only constant in the universe. And so what we're talking about here is a man who understands that a relationship is a spiritual partnership and that both people have spiritual obligations and responsibilities and are being held accountable as such. Albie, I know I love you, baby, but you must go. Mommy is working. Go sit down. I'm working. She is so cute. I just love this baby. So he's not looking for a partner. He's looking for a clone. Many men who are in that energy that we talked about, they're looking for clones. They want to teach you. They want to mold you. They want to educate you. They want you to sing their praises and worship them without due cause. Okay, it works both ways. No one is having to come all the way across the aisle to meet the other person. Two people living in harmony have to meet in the middle, and they both have to give of themselves in order to help to assist in the growth and nurturing of the total being and of the relationship, in creating that separate life that the relationship has. We have two entities that are coming together, and those have to be recognized for all that they bring to the table. Both people have to do this. When you have an energy or a man that needs to dominate you or needs to be at the center of attention, or you have a feminine energy that does that, it's not going to bode well. There has to be a happy medium. There has to be some compromise, some meeting in the middle. There has to be some alchemy there and some temperance there. This is very important. Number 8 is critical too. A man who really doesn't embrace his manhood in a way that allows you to be in your womanhood, in your true femininity. Because I am an avid believer that when a man is in his masculine energy, his healthy masculine energy, and he is fulfilling his primary responsibilities for maintenance and provision, safety and security, emotional, mental, and spiritual forwardness or wholeness or whatever it is that pertains to the fullness of interacting with another human being that he is responsible for, he cannot fulfill his primary duties and obligations, which means that you are not going to be able to fulfill yours, okay? The feminine provides support to the masculine. The feminine energy is so amazing, magnificent, and so great. It's so vast. It's so all-encompassing. We are the mothers of not only civilization, but we are the mothers of the planet. For crying out loud, the womb in which we all live in, Mother Earth, is a feminine energy. So everything comes from the divine feminine, from within the woman. It is so vast, you really cannot quantify it. Even the manifesting energy of the Creator has feminine and masculine characteristics. Not only is our Creator the compassionate one, our Creator is also the creator, the one that creates, the opener, the closer, the merciful, the gracious. There are so many attributes that the Creator has, but those attributes, when you look at the totality of what they represent, there are masculine and there are feminine energies. There's nothing in this universe that does not encompass all and be and still be considered whole. It is just simply not possible. Okay, that wholeness has certain polarities within it, which are perfect complements to one another. And so when you have a man that knows how to really be in his healthy masculinity, it will allow you to be in your healthy femininity, and you will not feel oppressed. You will not feel submissive. It will be very natural for you. And the two will have a beautiful interplay that makes life very easy from a very organic level. So it just is what it is, y'all. We were created this way. We were created this way by a master fashioner. Okay, next. A man who's not, this is number 9, a man who's not a lifelong learner. If you're watching this channel, clearly you are an energy that is a lifelong learner. You want to learn better ways to live your life. You are striving. You are working towards self-actualization. You need a person who is growing dendrites, who is creating new interneural connections, who's constantly learning, who's not just sitting like a bump on a log in front of the idiot box all day waiting for Monday Night Football. You need someone who aspires to connect on a deeper level, who can go beyond the physical. These are the types of people who are forever young. These are the types of people who simply don't age in the same way other people age. They have something to live for, and they're continuously churning. Even when they get into their 80s and 90s, they're still living fully because they're still growing. Your mental growth and your level of consciousness determines the energy around your physical health, how long you're going to be on the planet, the quality of your life. All of those things are influencing. The Creator is very merciful. All right. When we give up, we leave out of here. For the length of time that we want to be around and are continuing to grow, many of us are fortunate to be able to help co-create that reality. That is a fact. Number 10, this is important. A man who can talk about the struggle all day, regardless of what that struggle may be. It may be a racial thing, some of his struggles that are related to being an African-American man in America. It can be some other pulpit or torch that he carries for something that he feels very passionate about, but fails to be able to parallel the struggles and the difficulties and the challenges and the obstacles that have existed for women because of the patriarchal paradigm that we have been under, and that is not until more recently beginning to fall apart. A man who does not understand the struggle of women, does not understand the struggle that his mother has, that his sister has, his sisters have, and is not going to understand your struggle. And before things are separated down into race and ethnicity and culture and so forth and so on, we need to take a look at the broader human struggle, which has some of its dynamics at play in gender. This is very serious because that man his worldview will be based upon the hardships that he's facing, his epic story, his narrative and everything else, and he will never be able to see the value that you are bringing to the table, or what it is that are setups for obstacles that are in the way in your life, because you may be, let me say this differently. He's going to have trouble understanding what he needs to do in relationship with you in order to bring in balance. Okay, if he does not understand or have an appreciation for how women have been discriminated against, how women have been pillaged, how women have been exploited, how women have been demonized, and all he can do is tell his own narrative, there is no way under the sun that he is ever going to be able to understand your value and revere you and honor you. It is just that simple. I mean, when I think about that's another situation. But when you find that man who understands that, you have a gold mine. You have a gold mine. This man will be compassionate. He will revere you. He will honor you. He will love you. He has loved and held up high all of the women in his life. He's not a woman hater. He's not a misogynist. He's not someone who can find value in some of the things that a personality like a Kevin Samuels or many others like him, cookie cutter folks, may talk about when they want to turn over accountability and responsibility and relationship and put everything on women and demonize them so that they don't have to do any work. You're not going to find that in this type of individual. And that is a key trait that you want to pay attention to. And if you find this man and he is not hip to that or he's not conscious of that, but when you begin to endeavor to have conversations around this topic and he's open to that and he's able to shift his perspective to encompass the wholeness of what you're saying, you still have hit the jackpot, okay? Because not knowing and being ignorant of something is not the same of not knowing, not valuing, and not caring to want to understand and have compassion and empathy for your counterpart, for the other half of you or the other soul that you're coming together with in order to form another life. Okay, so this is important. And last but not least, a man that you lack passion and agreement with and for. If you have passion in a relationship, you know, you've got the chemistry, the fire is there, the sexual energy is off the charts, but you can't find agreement in this person. You cannot find harmony and balance. And eventually you will lose your passion for this person because you don't like them. You can't alchemize with them. You can't turn base metals into gold with them. You can't work with this person. The only thing that you can get from them are your physical needs. And that's simply not going to be enough because of what we have in our chest and what we have between these ears. So that's critical. By the same token, if you're with a man that you have agreement with and you don't have passion with that person, the likelihood of that relationship being able to be fulfilling and going the distance is also going to be very challenging. It's going to be like an uphill climb. And like you always hear me say, we got to go up the hill. It's a matter of if you're going to push the load or pull the load. I'd rather pull the load up the hill rather than be pushing the load going up the hill. Long-term passion and chemistry give you the polarity, the masculine and feminine polarity that is necessary in a relationship in order to create the perfect tension, the perfect balance, okay, to keep things at equal but opposite ends in a manner of speaking, depending upon degree. You need this in a relationship. You have to have it in a relationship. You need the passion as well as the agreement. One cannot exist for a long period of time without the other. Otherwise, you're going to find that the relationship is very difficult for you to come to terms with in terms of your personal happiness and emotional fulfillment and contentment. Hopefully this video gives you something to hold on to with regard to the elements that are really important long term when you talk about a relationship that can not only hold your attention, but that can ignite your soul, keep your fire burning, and allow you to ascend and aspire to greater spiritual heights. We are endeavoring to discuss what all of us needs. The complete package is not just your physicality. The complete package is just not your emotional needs. It's the mental stimulation and the mentally healthy environment that you want to be in. It's the spiritual growth that is important in partnership, as well as the physical aspects and the emotional nurturing and attention. So these are the things that when we're talking about manifesting love, we want to have these conversations. We want to be able to gauge how much of what it is that we really are going to need, not what we may necessarily want. These are really things that you need. If your partner embodies these energies and has these attributes, or at least a majority of them, you have something to work with. You can work with the rest. You can build the rest. But if they're missing more than 4 or 5 of these, It's going to be a relationship that is going to drain your energy. It's going to be a relationship that is going to cause you to feel stagnant. It's going to stifle you. In short, it is going to smother you and drain your energy. All right. So I hope that this video added something to your life. If you know someone who's in the process of dating or who's looking for that love, or someone that is accepting less than what they deserve or less than what they really need, because at the core, this is what we need to thrive. This is what a feminine energy who's on her game needs in order to thrive. Now, I'm not talking about those people who are willing to accept less and who haven't evolved to the level of really knowing themselves and knowing the dynamics of the masculine and feminine energy, who haven't had several relationships where they have learned some of the things that they need to do in terms of their inner work and are not doing their inner work and are not aspiring to higher levels. People who are concerned with just the physicality. The only thing they're concerned with is the bag, someone who can pay the bills, or what does he have, or what kind of car is he driving, or does he go to such and such a club on the weekend. Those are not the people we're talking about. Those are not the people that reflect my energy. That's not my energy. Those are not the people that I imagine are looking at this channel. We're talking about a relationship that has more emotional maturity than that. It has more responsibility in terms of coming to the table with the essential ingredients that are at the core of what will make a healthy relationship, one in which both people can prosper and both people can grow. You're with Tanisha Ali again. Again, you can find Manifesting Your Masterpiece on Amazon or Barnes & Noble for the thousands of you who have supported this channel and my other networks. Thank you very much. Please go back and do a review. I am so grateful to you. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Join the evolution, and always remember that everything is spiritual and spirituality is everything.